Alright, let's try this again, round 2. So, what we're doing is we're going to learn how to decoupage. And if you have been crafting for a long time, you probably already know how to do it. But I know when I first started reading the bottle for my Mod Podge, I kind of didn't realize that was all you had to do. And it's just a great idea. It's fun. I do have some mixed media projects that I've done with decoupage. If you look down my blog post, my Halloween blog post, I did the glitter on the pumpkins. I sealed it and I applied it too, actually, with Mod Podge. I do a whole bunch of different projects with Mod Podge. Let me show you. I have this right here. I did this because I was just in a Valentine's Day mood. This is a mixed media project that I kind of started just messing around with. It's kind of what we're going to do with this, or what I'm going to start anyway. Yeah, mixed media, the point of it is kind of just taking different forms of things and putting them all together. So I have scrapbook paper and I have decoupage on here. I've also got little stones, but there's also stencil work. There's some more stencils, some aging at the bottom. So it's really fun. But we're going to start with decoupage because that's the basis for a lot of my projects and a lot of what I do. It's either craft painting or decoupage, and right now we're going to do both. So, and here's another decoupage project. If I could get all my junk off of it. It's kind of become a junk collector too, apparently. But here's just plain wooden tray I got from AC Moore. It's decoupage just pieces. All I did was cut the pieces. All of these are triangles except for the square right there. And it's just triangles I cut from scrapbook paper. With this piece, because it's wood, I painted under it first because I wanted to seal it because I didn't want the wood to soak up the Mod Podge. So this is a fun thing. The red is Martha Stewart Pearl, and I believe it's habanero. So, and it's the pearl finish. So that's fun. So for this project, what I started with, I have Mod Podge, and this is a really big container. They have smaller ones than this. If you're not going to be decoupaging a ton and you just want to try it out for the first time, I'd get a smaller one than this because I still have about half the container left, and I can't tell you how many projects it's gotten me through. So if you are only looking to do a little bit and you don't want to waste and you don't want to spend a ton of money, I would totally get a smaller one because this one is enormous and it's lasting me forever. Okay, so what I did was we started with, and these are just plain canvases. The first canvas I showed you was a staple back canvas from AC Moore. You can get that in the art section. No, I'm sorry, not AC Moore, Michaels. These are also right next to the staple backs. These are actually cardboard. And they're just canvas wrapped around cardboard. They're pretty nice too. I have some finished projects with those. So what I started with these, obviously you saw that was plain white. I took Martha Stewart craft paints. I took, these are two more metallic. I took rust and rose copper. And what I did was I just did a dry brushing technique on the back. So all we do is, see, it almost has a watercolory finish on it. All you do with the dry brushing technique, you take obviously a dry brush, put it in your paint. Don't load it up too much, obviously. And then you just want to take a paper towel and you just want to go on a paper towel a couple times. And that's going to take a lot of the loaded of your paint off and give you a drier, more brushy, almost watercolory technique. And that's actually really nice. I think I saw that on Deco Art, I think, their videos. And that's a really fun technique. I think that looks really cool with the brushes like that. So, for this particular project, I'm still in a total, lovey Valentine's Day mood. So what I have right here is I have some roses on my scrapbook paper. I have roses. I have hearts. And this is all scrapbook paper I just get from Michael's and AC Moore. You can get some of this stuff's like as little as 19 cents for a page. So, like, I'm really bad. I'm really, really bad. I just go and I just start grabbing things. It's really bad. Like, you wouldn't think you could spend $5 on stuff that's like 19 cents a piece, but you certainly can once you start grabbing it. Here's little pieces of paper. I don't throw things away because I know I'm going to use it eventually. Pink paper. I also have, these are really cool. Here's other roses. These are like pinkish roses. I have, these are fun. I have actually glitter sheets. So this is paper with glitter on it. I have the pink and I have gold. And again, they're funky shapes because I don't throw anything away because I know I'm going to use it eventually. So those are fun. So what I have with, I start my canvas. And let me just put this down a little bit. Okay. So what we're going to start with is I'm going to pour a little bit of my, don't, make sure your Mod Podge tab is clean before you put it away. You don't have a mess like I just had. This is really fun. This is a cart, like my craft cart. It's just like drawers on wheels. So I have this. And what I'm going to take first is I'm going to take some of, hang on. Where's my exact? I have my X-Acto knife. This one's from AC Moore. I think they have them at Michael's as well. I'm pretty sure they're anywhere. I think I even saw them at the dollar store before. So my roses, I just want to take my X-Acto knife, and right now I'm going to cut around the edge of a rose. And you see the X-Acto knife it's super, super sharp. So if you're doing this with your kids, I don't recommend letting them touch it. You know, have mom do the cutting. Because your X-Acto knife is insanely sharp. And just pull it off. And you see, I've got my rose piece cut out. And I'm probably going to speed through all of this once we're done. Because you guys don't need to see me cut out all my individual pieces. And here's more roses, you see. So, then what I do, just for the sake of time, I'm going to put my paper over there. I have my craft board here again. I take just a plain fluffy brush. I use a big one. I believe this was part of like a 3-pack from AC Moore, but I have so many brushes it's not even funny. So I think I want him to go right here. So I put there, and then I take it over to my, for my workspace. I'm actually working on my kitchen table right now because I don't have anything fancy like a lot of other crafters. But what I'm doing is I'm just putting it on the back of my paper. And this is just basic decoupage and how I like to do it. Basic stuff. Easy. I just put the back of my paper, I load that up with decoupage. Your paper's going to be wet, it's going to be floppy. That's okay. And then I'm going on my board. And where I want to put my paper on my board, I'm also loading that up with Mod Podge. Kind of in the shape of my flower, because I don't want Mod Podge seeping out all over the place. Like, you don't need a ton of it, but you still want a good coating. So then, It's perfect. It's fine if it's not exact. That's what makes it art, right? I love this brush because it's got the flat back, and I just go right through, and I don't have to get my fingers all nasty. And I press it with the flat of the paintbrush. Then, once it's on there, let it sit for a second. Let's do another one. And then on my brush, on my canvas, I'm just going to place them randomly. So I have my roses all over the place. Again, flat black. I'm going to press my rose down. Okay. Once this one's had a second to sit, I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to take more Mod Podge onto my brush. Not a ton. Just a little bit, because you want to do like, it's almost like a seal on here. It gives it a shiny coating. I don't recommend getting your fingers on this too much. Let the brush and the clean plastic do everything. Because sometimes if you can get your fingers on it too much, you can get like little gray chunkies just from, it's nasty to say, but your skin cell rubbing off in the Mod Podge. So we go and we just, it's pretty much a seal. And your Mod Podge is going to be like foggy and not clear on your paper when it's wet, but once it dries, it's going to dry completely clear. Again, like this. This is all just Mod Podge. It's not anything else. I didn't put a varnish on there. There are projects that I have where I have put varnish on them, but I honestly find that I don't really need it. The Mod Podge does the work for me. And if you want more of like a resiny looking finish, you can layer on your Mod Podge as well. And that kind of makes it a little more plasticky looking. Be really careful with that and have a pin nearby because you want to pop any air bubbles, because if you have air in your Mod Podge, it's going to show, it's going to stay. So yeah, so here's the beginnings of it. And like I said, this is going to dry really clear and it's going to be really pretty. And hopefully I will get this done at some point and I will be able to show you guys the finished product. Alright, so that's your beginner guide to Mod Podge. Simple, simple. Just use it like a glue, use it like a sealer. It's all in one. It's awesome, awesome stuff. Tell you, you're going to be Mod Podging your entire house once you start.